welcome back. Happy Thursday for you guys. Friday Eve. Woohoo! It's just me and Luna here. Yeah, remember my sidekick. She's always there with me. Aren't you, Luna, baby? You can see her ears. Oh, 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 there she is. Luna. So I'm going to tell my joke to Luna today, okay? For joke time. Luna, what do you call a pile of cats? I think she gives up. Meowton. Get it? Mountain, Meowton. You see what I did there? Oh yeah, it was perfect. Okay, so I'm sure she loved it because it was about cats, right? Actually, her and my cat are like best friends. They like lay together, they play together. It's kind of a crazy relationship. Anywho, so let's go ahead and get started with your lessons today, kiddos. You're gonna need your Go Math book again. You're going to need your flimsy book. Your flimsy book page is actually not on the page that I sent, so it's okay if you don't send that to me. We'll just do it together on video. Okay, but if you do have it, go ahead and get your flimsy book. You're gonna need your hardback reader and your board, your marker, or your paper pencil, whatever you're using, okay? All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started. Now, yesterday in math for your money, and your what does the clock say? Tick, 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 tock. It was on your page that you did. So when we check that together today, we'll see how awesome you did. So in your Go Math book, if you would get out page 663, 663, okay? 663, and we're gonna check that together, okay, real quick. All right, you were supposed to do front and back of that, so give yourself a big old check mark if you got them right. Many of you guys, I already looked at yours, and Remind was giving me a little bit of a fit uploading some of your work back and where I checked it, but I'll try it again this evening and see if it'll let me push it out to you, okay? But anyway, check along with me. On page 663, at the top, we had our picture or our pictograph, and it asked you some questions about that on the front. So let's go ahead and see what it says. Okay, now remember we have to read our title. Our title of it said number of books read, and our key said each book stands for one book that they read. So we have Ryan, Gwen, Anna, and Henry. The first problem asked, how many books in all did Henry and Anna read? And in all, and that and, does it tell me to add or subtract? It's adding that time. So we need to figure out how many Henry and Anna did. So let's find Henry. 1, 2, 3. Go up to Anna. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they read 9 books together. So I'll put my number 9 right there. Give yourself a big old check mark if you got it right. Okay, number 2. Number 2 says, how many more books? Ooh, remember? I put that on my dry erase board for the past couple of days. How many more or how many fewer? Ask for the difference. So how many more books did Ryan read than Gwen? So we have Ryan, we have Gwen. So do we add or subtract? Do you remember? Subtract, great job. So we have Ryan and Gwen. How many more did Ryan read than Gwen? So Ryan read 1, 2, 3, 4, and Gwen read 2. So 4 minus or take away 2. 1, 2. Leaves us with 2. So he read 2 more books than she did. And number 3, how many fewer? Oh, there we go again. There's our phrase for this week. How many more or how many fewer books did Gwen read than Anna? So how many fewer? Is that adding or subtracting? Subtracting. So we have Anna. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. and Gwen 1, 2. So 6, subtract, minus, take away, whichever one you want to say, 2. 1, 2. Leaves me with 4. So she read 4 fewer books, okay? Have that up there where you can see it. Give yourself a big old check mark. Okay, now we're down to our problem solving. It says use the picture graph above. Write or draw to explain. So you can write something down if you need to. You can draw yourself a picture, whatever you need to do. It says Carlos. So we're adding a new student in there. Carlos read 4 books. How many children read fewer books than Carlos? So Carlos read 4. How many kiddos didn't read 4? They read less than 4. Well, let's look. Ryan read 4. That's not less than 4. That's equal, isn't it? Gwen read 2. Is that less than 4? Yep. So she's one person. Anna, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, she read a lot more than that. So, well, not a lot, but 2 more, right? So she's not in it. Henry read 1, 2, 3. Is 3 less than 4? It sure is. So he makes the second one. So how many kiddos read less than 4 books? 2. 2 children read less than 2. 2 children. And you could have wrote it out or drawn it, or you could have even used it like we just did up here at the picture graph, okay? Now, down at the bottom, number 5, it says write a few sentences to describe the different parts of a picture graph. Well, we know that we have the key. Now, the key tells me what the picture means. That was one thing you could have put. I think a lot of you did. The key tells me what the picture means. We also have the title, and that tells me what the graph is all about. What the graph is about. And in this time, it was the number of books read. Okay, now guys, you could also have put the pictures on the picture graph, tells you what it was about. You can put the people on there, tells you who it was about. So lots of different answers there. So I'll give you some feedback as you send those in to me, okay? All right, guys, turning on the back, and here was our review page, okay? So at the top, we had another picture graph, and it was titled Our Fish. And it looks like we have the key. Each fish stands for one fish. Jane, Will, Gina, and Evan. Okay, and it tells you how many fish they have. Well, number 1 says use the picture graph. Who has the most fish? Most, same thing as more. It's whoever has the greatest amount, right? So looking at that, who has the most? Looks like Gina to me. So I'm going to put her name on the line. Gina. Okay, guys, here is your time. What time is showing on this clock? Well, little hand first, find the hour. I see that if I draw it out, it's so close to the 3 that it's scary, but it's not quite there yet. So it's always the number before, so I know that it's 2 something. If I count around by 5s, long hand second, count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. So it was 255. That one could be super tricky, huh? Because it's so close to being 3 o'clock, it's scary and it might trick you. Okay, here is our measurement review, guys. Each unit cube is about 1 centimeter. Okay, so these are centimeters. What is the length of the paper clip? Well, I see that I've got 1, 2, 3 blocks that it goes over top. So it's about 3 centimeters long. Give yourself a big old check mark if you got it right. Okay, here is our money review down at the bottom. Now, it looks to me that the first 2 right there are big mama jammas. And then we have one, remember, he looks so big, but he's not a big mama jamma, is he? And then last and least, we have our little one, okay? So if the first 2 are my big mama jammas, those are quarters and they're worth 25. So I'm gonna line up my 25 like I normally do. Now, that third coin, he looks a lot like a big mama jamma, but what is he? A nickel, and he's worth 5 cents. And how do we write 5? Do we just put 5? 0, 5. Just like that last one, he's our little guy, so he's 0, 1. So I'm gonna put my plus sign. I have my cars all lined up like so. Now, over here, I see a bunch of 5s, so I'm gonna count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, plus 1 more is 16. 1 up top, 6 at the bottom. And over here, I see some 2s, so I'm gonna count by 2s. 2, 4, 1 more makes 5. 56, so that's when you add your dollar sign, your 0, and your decimal. Because that's how we write it as big second graders. Now over here, they gave you one that had the cent sign. So you could have put the 56 just plain with the cent sign, right? We could put our 0 and our decimal too if you wanted to. That's cool too. Okay, or blank cents, 56 cents. So there's multiple ways that you could write that. But this is our big second grade way. Whenever we have our dollar sign, our 0, and our decimal, because that's normally how we see it, okay? All right, how do we do? Double fist bumps if you got those. Good job. Okay, now today, guys, we are still staying with our picture graphs and our tally charts. But this time, you're going to create one. So if you would turn over to page 666, it's just one page over. We have some tally charts and some picture graphs. Like, let's look at the top here. Okay? They took the information on this tally chart. It says number of flowers picked. And it gives you the name and then the tally marks of how many they picked. Over here, they turned this information into a picture graph. And they gave you your key. Each circle stands for 1 flower. So they gave you an example. Jessie has 1, 2, 3 tally marks for the flowers. So they drew 1, 2, 3 circles. So if we look at the next one, guys, Inez, I see that she has a bundle of 5. So over here next to Inez, how many circles do we need to draw? 5. Good job. So I'm going to do that real quick. I'm not going to shade mine in just so I can save some time, okay? Now we have Paulo. Paulo over here, his tally marks are 1, 2, 3, 4. So how many circles do we need to draw? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we have a picture graph that says the same information as the tally chart. Okay? So guys, that is what you are doing today. Let's do these down at the bottom together and then I'll let you do some on your own, okay? Now, over here, it looks like favorite sandwich. Favorite sandwich. And we have a cheese, ham, tuna, and turkey, okay? And our tally chart tells us how many. Over here, it looks like it says under our key that each smiley face stands for one child. Okay, so we need to draw a smiley face this time for our favorite sandwiches. Well, let's look at cheese. Cheese, I have a bundle of 5. So how many smiley faces do I need to write next to cheese? 5. So go ahead and make your smiley faces to represent the tally marks. I'm going to go ahead and make mine. All right. 5 smiley faces. Well, look at Ham. Ham has how many tally marks? 2. So we're going to make how many smiley faces? 2. So it'll match. So I'm going to make my smiley faces real quick. Okay. Tuna. Tuna has 1, 2, 3, 4 tally marks. So how many smiley faces are we going to make? 4. Very good. So I'm going to make my smiley faces real quick. And guys, if I'm going too fast, like I said, you can always pause the video anytime that you need to take your time. Turkey. How many smiley faces do I need? 3. Very good. I know you guys are rocking this out. Alrighty. So now we have a picture graph that has the same information as our tally chart. So let's look at our questions down at the bottom. Number 2, how many children chose tuna? So now I can go to my picture graph, go down to tuna, and count my smiley faces. 1, 2, 3, 4. So how many children chose tuna? 4. So I'm going to put a 4 right there. Okay, number 3. How many more? That big phrase that I've been putting on my dry erase board all week. How many more children chose cheese than ham? Well, let's look at cheese. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ham is 1, 2. How many more or how many fewer? What's the difference? So does that mean adding or subtracting? Subtracting. So 5 cheese, subtract 2 ham, 1, 2, leaves me with 3. 3 more children chose cheese than ham. What kind of sandwich do you guys like? I'm kind of a turkey fan myself. Okay, now guys, over here, you're doing the same thing. You are taking the tally chart and you're making it into a picture graph and you're going to answer the questions, okay? On the back. If I can get my page to flip. Doesn't want to flip. Okay, and you're doing the same, but you're answering the questions about a picture graph this time, and they already made it for you. Okay, so go ahead and complete page 667 and 668 on your own, okay? And we'll come back together tomorrow and we'll check it, okay? Now, be sure to tune in tomorrow because tomorrow is game day. We're going to be doing some moving and getting up and all kinds of stuff for some math games after we check our work together, okay? So it's going to be really exciting, so tune in then, okay? So 667, 668, that's just front and back of the one page. So I can make sure that you kiddos understand your picture graphs and your tally charts and we can move on next week, okay? All right, kiddos. If you want to, you can pause this video like normal and Go ahead and do that, or you can just keep right trucking with me, okay? I'll put my little bookmark and put this to the side. All right, guys, here we go. Next thing that we're gonna do is we'll need a dry erase board, or you'll need your paper and pencil, or whatever it is that you're using to write with, okay? Because today for our handwriting, and yesterday, was it yesterday or the day before? We practiced making a sentence, a really good descriptive sentence, remember? So today I asked you to use the word happy in a 7-Up sentence and to try to challenge yourself and use cursive writing. And again, if you need to go back and look in your cursive writing handbook, it shows you exactly how to do those, but we've already went through all those letters and you guys are doing fabulous with that. So go ahead and try. Now, remember, we want something descriptive, something that if you were to close your eyes, you would be able to imagine it in your brain, okay? So think of something that makes you happy. Something that makes me happy. There's lots of things that make me happy. Teaching you kiddos make me happy. The sunshine makes me happy. Eating a pizza makes me happy. My animals make me happy. There's lots of things. So choose something that makes you happy, and then I'll make a sentence too. But I'm going to try to make it as descriptive as possible so you can really imagine it, okay? All right. Remember, 7-Up sentence to challenge yourself. And we always start our sentences with a capital letter, and we end with punctuation, an exclamation, a period, or a question mark. And if you have more than one thing describing, you need to have that comma. All right, guys, I have mine. And I'm going to use an exclamation point because this is strong feeling for me. Okay, I have my capital letter, check. Punctuation, check. I used the word happy, check. Now I'm going to count and make sure that I have 7 words or more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Woohoo! I have one more for 7-Up. Okay, my sentence says, the warm golden sunshine makes me very happy. Okay, so warm and golden, I can picture that in my brain. And when I say very happy, that shows strong feelings. So that's why I chose the exclamation point instead of a period to kind of shake up my sentences a little bit. Okay, so guys, I cannot wait to see your sentences and what makes you happy, okay? All right. Now, if you need to, again, you can pause this video to make your sentence. Take a little picture of it and send it to me, all that good stuff, okay? If not, you can go right along with me. All right. Now, guys, if you have your flimsy book, you can turn to page 37 with me, okay? Now, I'm going to teach you another little saying. You know, I always have like little jingles or songs or silly stuff, you know. Today, we are going to learn something because all of our words this week has that Y that took the E's identity. And they say E. For example, the word puppy. It says E, doesn't it? Now, if I want to make a sentence that ends in Y more than one, So more than one puppy would be puppies, right? You change the Y to an I and add ES. Sing it with me. You change the Y to an I and add ES. One more time. You change the Y to an I and add ES. So if your word ends in a Y and you want more than one, instead of puppy, you would have puppies. So you change the Y to an I and add ES. So you have to have puppies. So your new word would look like this. Puppies. Change the Y to an I and add ES. Puppies. Okay, let's do one more. Alrighty. How about the word baby? Baby ends in that sneaky Y here. Okay, so you change the Y to an I and add ES. So your new word would be babies, more than one. You change the Y to an I and add ES, babies. Okay? Now, guys, on page 37 in your flimsy book, that's what they wanted you to do. Change the Y to an I and add ES. So pony, if you change the Y to an I and add ES, you have more than one pony. It becomes ponies. Change the Y to an I and add ES. Ponies. Well, the next two we did together. Puppy. And we have more than one puppy in this picture. Change the Y to an I and add ES. So it becomes puppies. Just like that. Now, you had one baby. You have more than one baby. Change the Y to an I and add ES for babies. Now, guys, for extra bonus points, if you would like to do this bottom and send me a picture, you are amazing. It says write 2 sentences with the words that you wrote. So you can pick 2 of these words and write a sentence for them. And if you do, you get extra bonus points and you are amazing. If not, that's okay because we do have a journal entry today and that'll be your writing, okay? So, guys, if you want to pause this video and do those 2 sentences for your extra bonus points, awesome. If not, come along right with me. Okie dokie, cowpokies, here we go. Now, after you read your story, and I'll tell you what your challenge is today, I would like for you to do a journal write, okay? And make sure to use those capital letters. You always start your sentence with a capital letter and names of important people, okay? Places or things. And you always end in a punctuation mark. So if you showed strong feelings, you need that exclamation point. If you're just telling me something, a period, and then a question mark if you turn it into a question. Okay, so yesterday we talked about in our classroom conversation what events in this biography explain how Gabriella became important. So why is she important? I got a lot of good answers on that. Guys, a lot of you picked up that she was an author, a famous author, and she traveled to many places talking with students and teachers. That made her important. You also mentioned how she won that Nobel Prize for Literature. So those are some events that made her an important person that they wrote this story about. So really good job on that, guys. Now today, after you read your story, I would like for you to do a journal write. So if you have your red journal from school, you can use that. If not, don't worry about it. You can always use paper, pencil, or a dry erase board, and you can illustrate at the bottom and send me a picture of it, okay? But I'm going to give you your sentence starter today. Use those big descriptive words, okay? I think Gabriella, and I'm going to capitalize her name because it is a proper noun, is blank, period. So, I think Gabriella is blank. Describe Gabriella, and we used words at the beginning of the week like intelligent, things like that. I want you to think of a big second grade word that would describe Gabriella's personality or some of the things that she did, okay? So, your second sentence is, I think that because ... I think that because, and that ... do you write it? Nope. What does it stand for, guys? Teacher talk, for keep on going, right? Keep on writing. So I think that because, guys, we always have to defend what we say, right? Because we can't just be like, I think Gabriella was mean. You have to have something to back that up, right? Which she wasn't mean. I don't think anything on that story told us that, right? So that would be a silly answer. So we need to think of something that we can explain how we feel. Okay, so describe Gabriella using one of those big descriptive words. And I think that because, tell me why you feel that way. What are some things maybe that she did that made you think that about her, okay? So, and illustrate what you wrote at the bottom. I cannot wait to read them, guys. Remember, capital letters and capital letters for our proper nouns, punctuation the way we need it, okay? So do your best on that. Now, yesterday, your challenge was to wear something that was your favorite color. And I think I got some of them right. Okay, so that was yours. Now, today, I want you to read your story using something that is important to you. So if you have an important stuffed animal, or maybe you have something that you think is lucky, or maybe you have a favorite pair of shoes, something that's important to you, and I want to see if I can guess what you're using that's important to you. Okay? So use something that's important to you to track the print. All right? So, you know, it would be really cool. If your mom's important to you or something, you can always use her to track the print. So I'd be like, Mom, I need your finger. I'm just kidding. Anyway, so use something that's important to you to track the print, and I'll see if I can guess what it is that's important to you. All right, guys? So that is what you have for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for our game time and all that good stuff. We'll have lots of fun together. Guys, I miss you and I love you, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Mwah. Bye.